Hey guys, welcome. I'm here, and so is Jason, and so are Cassie and Ron. Look at that. Or are we? No, we're not. There we go. Hang on. Something's happening. What have I done, Jason?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You need to switch us to like a different grid.
Yeah, I'm playing. Hang on.
Nope. Because we need to see Ron. You can't leave Ron out now.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming
Hi,
to Doof Doof Paranormal. Hopefully, you watched my newest episode and came over to hang out with us because this, guys, just get used to this. Get used to the four of us because the content you guys are about to get in about a month is just going to be nothing but us. The four of us
29
together.
days.
And I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Oh dear.
That's when
I'm
you
just
talk,
having
Karen.
a look to see.
Okay. I'm going to vamp for Karen
I'm
as she
talking.
figures
I'm
out her
just looking
stuff.
to see. Hey Joe. I'm just looking to see who's in the chat because I'm not looking at the YouTube guys because the YouTube page, if I have the YouTube up on my other screen, it puts me off. I think I'm not here. It's all behind. So,
well, right now we have Ames, who we haven't seen in a while. We have Betty. We have Paul L. We have Mike B. We have Allie, as always. We have Joe Vitale of Entity 7 Paranormal. We have, let's see, I know I saw another one.
Kindred's here.
Kindred is here.
Yeah.
So,
Allie,
we're just
did we say
kind
hey,
of
Allie?
hanging out, guys.
Yeah, we're just here. It's just a catch up and just to probably tune into a counselling session.
As we always do.
As we
and
always
Ron's
do.
here.
Oh,
Ron's
Kibba.
here
Hi,
and
Kibba.
there. Ron is there
Hi.
and here at the same time.
And I think I've got, I'm not sure. I think there's, excuse me. I think there's, Ames is newly subscribed to me, I believe. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Ames.
Love it. Dark Celador is hanging about.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Thanks, guys. I didn't think I'd get that many people, but it's because Jason and Cassie are here. If it was just me, there'd be like 2 people.
It's just all about the doof doof.
Yeah.
Paul L says, Karen, your hair is amazing looking.
Oh, thank you.
Compliments right off the bat.
Yeah, I left it out. I decided I won't put it back in a ponytail. I always have it in a ponytail or a bun for the last 40 years of my life, a ponytail or a bun. So I thought today I'll just do something different. There you go.
Well,
you wouldn't think I was 45, would you?
No. Especially since you're 32. It's crazy.
Oh, no, it's crazy. Oh, geez. So I'm getting pretty excited about our upcoming visit because it's only like, where are we? We're nearly in April
29
now.
days.
So,
well, 29 days until we reunite with Weeping Willow Paranormal. We being me and Karen. Karen is coming in a few days before that. And then we're going to be hanging out together. Like, I'm super excited about that because me and Karen get to hang out together by ourselves. We're going to travel around a little bit, see the sites around where I live. And then like we have a travel day. And then we're going to meet up with Cassie and Ron and we're going to investigate. Like we have a packed schedule once we all meet up. We even added recently within the last 2 weeks, we added another location, another large location. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be investigating. And then just for giggles, we're going to travel up to Canada and go hang out at Cassie and Ron's house and just fart around there. Hang out. Ron's gonna barbecue and smoke some meat. We're gonna do some barbecuing as we do because he's getting really good at that. We're gonna hang out in the hot tub. We're gonna visit some cemeteries that I didn't get to check out when I was last there. Plus, I kind of want to check out some of the cemeteries I did see the last time just to see the season change. And then me and Karen get to travel for almost 3 days by ourselves back to Oklahoma before I throw her on a plane and she jets off to Virginia City once again. It will be a full 2 weeks of us some version of this team hanging out and traveling together. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to do my part in terms of not only filming for Cemetery Road and everything I need to do, whatever cemeteries we visit, whatever Cemetery Road investigations we do, but I'm also going to be doing all the behind the scenes stuff to like document this entire trip, not just for you guys so that you guys can be like, oh, that looked fun, but because I want like
memories,
just like absolute proof that we all hung out together so that when I'm down in the dumps, when I'm having a rough day and just need a pick me up, I'm going to watch all the episodes that I'm going to be filming of Cemetery Road Investigations behind the scenes. And it's going to be awesome. And all of that will start, let's see, towards the middle of May. I want to say like middle of May as we creep into June. That's when you're going to start seeing content, not just from my channel and Cassie's channel, but Doof channel. It's just I don't even know. Like I know for me personally, the amount of stuff I'm going to film will cover a good chunk of this next year. Which will be super, super awesome. And that's not even including all the live streams where we're just being like, wasn't that fun? Let's tell behind the scenes stories after we've watched the behind the scenes episode, because there's going to be stuff we're not going to film that we're going to want to talk about, because ultimately, and this is like personal, like a reminder to everybody, when you're out doing stuff with your best friends and hanging out and having experiences, try not to be behind the camera at all times. So there's definitely, I'm going to film as much as humanly possible, but then there's also going to be the stuff where I'm just like, I just wanted to be in the moment and hang out with my friends. And I didn't whip out my camera and film that thing, but we will talk about it on the live streams. So just be on the lookout for all of the flippin' fun stuff we're going to do. And honestly, it's, thanks to you guys. Thanks for you guys for supporting my channel, for Cassie's channel, for Karen's channel. Your guys' not only monetary support for, some of our channels, but also like the encouragement, the showing up for episodes, showing up for live streams. Like we would probably still do it anyway, but we're going to make it content for you guys because you guys support us in terms of all of those things. And we're definitely going to pay you back by filming and bringing back as much as possible to you guys in terms of like stories and experiences, because you guys supporting us, you've earned it. You deserve to essentially virtually go on the trip with us.
It's mine, Joe. It's my live stream. That's right. Joe said he's forgotten whose live stream.
I haven't had a live stream in a while just because I've been bouncing around these two live streams so much.
Oh, you are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, between Cassie and myself. I've been doing a bit of a deep dive into, because you've noticed I've been putting a lot of shorts up. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually looking at different places that I want to go. And I've been looking at different things as well, like places I've been, and just like researching those places and looking at some of the cemeteries that you want to go to, Jason, and researching those as well. And as I'm doing that, I'm coming up with all these, I didn't know that. Oh, no one told me that. So I've turned them into shorts. Doesn't mean that the people reading it don't know that, but I didn't know that. So, and some I'm still not sure of, so I'll put a question mark, but I'm having a ball.
Yeah, and I'm excited to go to a few cemeteries with you just because you are much better and more just talented at looking up the history of locations and really digging deep into that kind of stuff, that we're going to, like, there's at least one big cemetery we're going to go to on this trip together because it's going to be right where we're at. But also, while me and Karen are traveling across America, there's going to be times we just stop. Cemetery, let's go. And so I'm really looking forward to journeying through some of these cemeteries with Karen, because I know she's going to do what I like really have a hard time doing, of like, hey, I'm going to put out an episode on this cemetery me and you wandered through. Do you want to do some research? And, I feel like you're going to be able to do that research and add that personal touch to the episodes. It's going to really make it pop.
And the cemetery that you did want to go to, that big one, I'm pretty sure, I'm not getting confused, where Colonel Sanders is, the big one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same cemetery, but Muhammad Ali is buried there as well. Like, there's a whole heap of people, and historically.
It's going to be a little hard. The size of that cemetery is going to be a little hard to cover with the amount of time we have.
It's huge. It's massive.
There are a couple cemeteries coming up on Cemetery Road that I visited when I went up to visit Ron and Cassie before, and I came down. I went to a cemetery that was so large that I showed up almost when it opened, like early morning. They opened the gates, and I almost got locked in because I was there for hours, just hours wandering around, and I barely covered half of it. Like, that's how large these cemeteries can be. And so this is one of those cemeteries where I'm a little worried we're not really going to be able to do everything I would like in that cemetery. So it's kind of cool to have like partners to go and be like, all right, if we all film some stuff and then just like give me that footage, we may be able to cover some of this place because it's so big.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking at. I thought, crikey, how are you going to do that? Like, you'd literally have to get there when the sun comes up and leave when they shut the gates.
You really have to do your homework in terms of like finding out where these specific, like the big name graves are. And honestly, it may be just a case of like, Cassie and Ron, go film, like, you go that way and go film some stuff, and me and Karen will go this way, we'll film some stuff, and we'll all come together. You just email me that footage, kind of thing. But it's also maybe just a case of like, I'll have to go back later, kind of thing. I know a couple of the cemeteries I hit when I left Ron and Cassie's house, the super huge ones, I'm just going to have to go back. Like, there's no other way to deal with those kind of locations.
Well, I'm excited to take Karen to like some famous ones in our area. So
even some of the ones that we visited when I was there are freaking, like the one over in Niagara Falls, the one we kind of just stumbled on when we were going out to dinner, and then me and Cassie went back later. That place was beautiful. Like, it's awesome. And it's small. It's not big. It's not large. It's not going to take more than 30 minutes to kind of just wander around. But you, Karen, you would enjoy this place because it's one of those cemeteries where you're like, this is picturesque.
Yeah.
Like, and I went there during the fall, so like fall cemeteries, forget about it.
That's not the one where you got the deer, was it?
No. But listen, my travels, as you're going to start seeing next week on Cemetery Road starts the trip where I went north of where I live, up into Wisconsin, over into Canada, across this chunk of Canada that leads me to Cassie and Karen. Cassie and Karen. They got married. It's weird. Me and Ron, we're together now. It's a whole thing.
Patricia.
My pussycat was like, did you see my pussycat? She'd like to meet.
I'm still at work, but I just wanted to show you to Patricia while I'm at work.
Look at that.
She says this.
The cutest one on the live
stream. What am I doing? I know. What are you doing? But yeah, everybody, Patricia, meet you too.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Patricia.
I mean, I'm allergic.
This is how you enjoy Patricia, Cassie.
On camera.
On camera.
Or we put her in her box, let her roll around and get into mischief.
So
she always gets stuck behind the toilet. It's fantastic.
Hopefully,
if I've missed anything in the chat, my apologies. I'm useless.
Yes, Ron. I'm a Mog. I'm a half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. Because John Candy is a national treasure to Canadians and to me. So as we move on in Cemetery Road, you're going to see my travels across Canada. We're going to see some cemeteries that me and Cassie got to go to. Cassie took me to a couple really cool cemeteries. And the cool thing is, like, all of those cemeteries were like in the dead of fall. So like golden foliage. There's a cemetery where I ran into like a herd of deer that live there. There's some flipping awesome cemeteries I have coming up. And then once we wrap up with those, you're going to start getting the cemeteries I visit on this trip that we are all going on. It's pretty stinking awesome.
Karen, you're a little bit quiet.
I just wondered why no one can hear me. Hang on.
Probably because I'm talking too much, Karen. You're good. I'll shut up now.
No,
I gotta go because I gotta go close. But I just want to.
All
Okay.
right.
You
Bye.
guys-
Bye, Allie.
Thanks for
on.
bringing Patricia.
Anytime, maybe. All right, bye.
I've got a new. See you, Ellie. I've got a new computer, and
Oh.
so I had to plug the mic in, so it's still really quiet.
No, you sound great.
Oh, really? Maybe it's my speakers.
Yeah,
But I'm
everybody
afraid to
sounds
turn
great
up
to
my
me.
speakers.
I can hear
Thank you,
them.
Paul, and thank you.
You need
for
to
the
get yourself some
compliment,
headphones.
Who? Oh,
Cassie and Ron, they need to get some wireless headphones that you guys can like put one in each ear, one for Cassie, one for Ron.
I know.
So, Cassie, what have you got planned for me when I get there?
I don't even know. Well, we're going to Niagara Falls.
Gotta do the whole tourist thing.
We gotta go to Niagara Falls because that's just the thing. What else? Oh, nice chocolate. What do you call it? Nice chocolate.
Nice chocolates.
Yeah, nice chocolates. That's the chocolate place. It's a really little
It's
place,
a really tiny little shop.
but delicious chocolate.
What's the inn that you investigated that we went and
Old
had dinner
Angel
at?
Inn?
Old Angel Inn. Do you want to go to Old Angel Inn? Because that's
Of course, Jason. wants
Okay,
to
he's
go
like
there.
going like
That's
this,
It was
so-
good food. It was at least good food. It was fun to visit. And plus that area, the Niagara on the lake area, that the like small town, old school place, like it was cool.
Fort George might be open.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Karen, you can
Yeah.
do like a little filming a little bit in going to the not going to the bathroom, but going down the stairs to the
What
bathroom.
kind of a channel is this?
No, please don't.
No,
Calm
listen.
down.
Listen to me. Okay, there's a
Ron,
ghost.
you need to rein her in, bro. She's gotten crazy.
No, there's a ghost that is haunts the girls' bathroom. Okay, so I just thought you could be like a little short, you know, and then like do like a voiceover or something about like the story.
Well, this
of
is
the
where
ghost that
Karen
haunts
got
the
arrested
bathroom.
for filming in the bathroom. Super cool.
Look, I did go to the restroom at the Washoe Club for that exact reason, but I didn't have a camera. I just took the dog, Taylor.
I remember that. Yeah.
Ooh,
Meet anybody in there.
Cassie.
Neither did I. So, yeah. But I can try that if you like. I just won't actually use the bathroom. I'll just go into the bathroom.
so
So,
I don't want to say like much, but I did. There is some like I got hipped to in some sort of way a haunted location that is 2 to 2.5 hours away from you, Cassie,
ooh,
in Canada.
let's go.
I kind of want to just go, but like I don't want to say it on online here.
Oh,
But like
okay.
after the live,
It's not that
I'll
we're
mention it
I
keeping
to
don't know.
y'all.
secrets from you guys. We
So-
just want you to be surprised.
Yeah, like, and that's something that I've dealt with a lot when in my filming career. Not even the like the paranormal stuff that you guys see here, but like you always kind of want to like keep your projects a little hush hush because you don't want to like just like you want that surprise, you want that like interest and that excitement kind of thing. And so it's not like we're trying to be like secretive about all the places we're going and what we're doing. It's just we want you guys to be like, oh man, in the moment, like we want that kind of excitement.
Yeah.
So there's another location that's about 2 to 2.5 hours away from you that even if we don't get to go as a group, because I know that's a lot to add another location to this trip, but it may be
That'd be
something
fine.
you specifically want to look into as Weeping Willow Paranormal because it's
Yeah.
fairly close to you.
Okay, I'll have to. I mean, I'm down. I'm down for so many things. Those locations.
Wow.
Okay.
That's not horrible.
No, it sounded just right.
God.
Ron's like, I don't know if it sounded just right.
No. Don't do it.
I
Yeah, your
was-
hair does look nice, Ron. And Ron,
Sorry?
what are you going to cook for me? What are you cooking? What's on the menu when I get there? Well,
Well,
you know,
I don't
I
know. There's so many things I would like to cook for
Listen,
you. But
listen.
for
Here's
sure, we're
like,
gonna do
you
a
can film his first episode,
I-
Jake.
I have been getting nothing but photos of all of Ron's cooking on the smoker / barbecue, and it all looks amazing. All I ask for is I need a little bit of chicken wing in my life when I'm up
I
there.
like chicken wings.
So we can do
All right.
like a smoked rib or a brisket or whatever, but at least throw like half a dozen or a dozen chicken
Well, I could
wings on
definitely-
there, and
could
let's see what we
definitely
can
make
do with
that happen.
those.
Chicken wings.
Yeah, but we
Well,
have female
I can't-
bacon, because Canadian
Oh.
bacon.
Canadian bacon. Oh,
No,
yeah.
I need that too.
I just want to say something. Kindred, I saw your little thing there. Kindred said that he's been to, I'm not sure where because I don't understand.
Big
Macune?
House Museum, Rose
Yeah.
Hill, the Rookery, and H&H Restaurant.
Now,
Where are those, Kindred?
yes. And also, if you want to share your channel on here, I've done a thing. So you do hashtag DOOF, doof, baby letters, not capital letters. Hashtag doof.
Baby
Can you try that
letters.
for me, Kindred?
I
Just
like
do
that.
hashtag doof and then DOOF, and then your channel should come up. Try it for me. Anyone. I made sure because I think people, when they're in the chats and stuff, I reckon it should be all right for them to share. their
And Karen, I
channels.
always forget this when I'm doing lives, but you can highlight people's comments.
Oh, yes, I should do that. Yeah, I'll highlight that.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
perfect. I always
Okay.
absolutely forget that I can do that when I'm doing lives.
It's in
Macon, Georgia. Okay.
Oh, Macon. I'm saying Macune.
Rose Hill Cemetery, and the Allman Brothers are buried there. They're musicians. I've only been to Georgia once. I went to Australia. I looked up and I saw Doof Doof's thing, and I'm like, oh, Australia. I've been to Atlanta, Georgia one time for a Comic-Con. I would like to go back to Georgia. So if I head back to Georgia at all, I will check. I will check that out.
I'm just seeing what else is in the thing. Has anyone tried my hashtag doof yet? Come on,
Yeah,
come
let's
on.
do it.
Someone do it so I can check it works.
What's a hashtag doof?
Okay,
I don't even know
Yeah,
what
you
a
just go
hashtag is.
hashtag and then DOOF, doof, hashtag doof, all little
Hold on.
letters, and then it should share your channel.
Ah,
Hashtag Doof was the name of my band in high school. It's weird.
Was not, was it?
No,
Was not.
I've never been in a band. That's
Hey,
just
is
my
it
favorite
happening
joke.
Hold on. There you go.
Oh, Nightbot did it.
Maddie
There you
did it.
go.
Thank
Devil's
Matt.
Hour.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, because I want people to be able. That's this Nightbot thing. It's really cool. You can do things like that. But yeah,
Oh.
What?
yeah. So you can put you put hashtag
confused.
doof, and then it automatically
What?
puts in the next chat box or whatever your
Hashtag?
channel.
Yeah.
And this
It's only words.
Nightbot,
There
you go.
You did hashtag
Yeah.
doof. You know,
I
it says
did.
hashtag doof. That's it.
I know, but look,
What? I'm looking.
Nightbot.
Yeah.
If you
Just shared
put
my link.
hashtag Doof, it'll
it
like
Yeah, but how did you do that?
the
Nightbot is
second
like a computer thing. I don't know what
What?
it is.
the second
Nightbot's
post
not a
will be
person?
your
No.
link.
No, not
I
hashtag.
thought Nightbot was a person.
No, not hashtag doof. Doof.
No, it's a program.
Kindred's not paying attention to me. Kindred is not listening.
Oh.
No, just doof, Kindred. Just doof, one doof, and little like what Parasolo's just done. See, just hashtag
Yeah.
doof.
It looks like if you
Lower
put
case.
hashtag Doof, it'll put on there hashtag Doof, but then it will auto put a Nightbot post for your
Correct.
link if you have
Huh.
one.
What if you
Is
don't
this
have
one
one?
posting live? Is it
Maisie, I
right?
see you. I'm posting, but not seeing many of my comments. I'm seeing your comments, Maisie.
Maisie, are you on show all comments or top comments? Because sometimes that's
Yeah.
happened.
Hang on.
And also,
I don't-
sometimes if you're commenting on your phone or if you're commenting on the computer, it gets weird. YouTube gets weird. Sometimes it'll post some things and not all things.
What's
Blake, there you
Kindred
go.
doing? someone teach Kindred how to do it. He keeps putting hashtag doof doof paranormal. Oh, I know what will be happening. Okay. It'll be automatically trying to put, when you write someone's, when you say at,
Mhm.
and it does. So maybe I can change it later. But it shouldn't do it. It's all right.
I really like your
Maybe.
black background, Karen, and the
What's
blue
wrong?
lights. I really
Oh.
enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm in my garage. Spoiler.
Really? You're in the garage?
I'm in the garage. I decided to get
man.
out of my bedroom because your bedroom has to be your place to go to sleep, not where you sit on a computer and then jump into bed because you're tired.
Listen,
so-
I'm in my office and I have a bedroom, so like I totally get it. Which I'm going to take a quick break. I got to go check on the kids real fast, and then
Okay.
I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
See you in a minute. So, Ron, what have you been up to today? Oh, what time is it there? Actually, I should check.
Well,
What
it's
time?
9
is it?
o'clock.
Oh, that's
here.
okay.
So, I mean, I
What
worked
did you do?
today,
Did you go to
obviously,
Mhm.
and then came home from work, picked up some pizzas for supper tonight, hung out with the kids. That's pretty much
I
it.
think that's it.
Took a shower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I dyed
yeah.
Cassie's hair.
He dyed my hair a little bit more blue.
Blake, no, I do not. And even if I did, they don't scare me. I just say, if I had actually, I'll tell you a silly story. When I was younger and my husband, the father of my boys, was in the Air Force, sometimes he would go away and I'd be by myself and the little boys would be asleep or whatever. And I had a huntsman that was above the curtain. Well, he'd come in the house and he was above the curtains. And I thought I should get him and put him out. But it was kind of a bit lonely. So every morning I'd get up and say, hello, Harry, and whatever. One day, though, he disappeared. And I thought, where are you? Because he was pretty big. And I went in the kitchen and I'm making myself a cup of tea. And I looked up and he was just above my head. And I went, oh, yep, nah, can't have that. It's time for you to go outside now. So you get up on a ladder and you get a bowl and catch him and put him out. But they're not, I know a lot of people hate spiders. I'm not a fan because you don't know, but
Yeah.
they're really actually harmless. Oh, what's wrong? Oh,
I have
okay,
returned.
Just 1 second, because my mom is just dropping off Elida, but I might have to go because they might visit. So just 1 second.
Oh, look, that's all right. If you have to go, it's okay.
Don't they know you're busy being internet famous?
Internet famous.
Okay, guys, we gotta go. So it was nice seeing you, but I'll see you all
All
tomorrow.
right, say hey to your mum for me.
I
And
will,
tell
and
her-
my dad's here too.
All right, say hey
Okay.
to your dad.
Say
for
hi
me.
to your dad for
Love
me
you,
too.
Ron. Bye,
Bye.
guys. See
Okay,
ya.
bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, it's just us.
I know. Well, all the cool people left, so you guys are stuck with us.
Yeah, stuck
But
with us.
we are pretty cool as well. I got too much headspace now too. I think I messed with my camera. Oh. I'm paranoid about like camera placement, guys. Karen learned that.
Actually, Blake, yeah, they are a bit fast when they're on the move, but that's like any spider, I think, Jason, don't you reckon? Like some spiders move
Yeah.
slow, henceforth not so scary, like say I can't say it, tarantula. You know those big ones that people have as pets, like they're kind of slow and yeah. But Harry's run.
So, Karen,
Mhm.
since me and you are going to be hanging out a lot
Mhm.
in America, the Midwest, if you will, the middle of America, are there things besides like Waffle House that you would like to go do and see? Because I'm trying to plan me and like the portion of the trip that's just me and you. Like I think we've kind of figured out the group scenario where we're all going to be investigating and traveling together. But me and you have like, I think nearly a week worth of days where it's just us hanging out and traveling around. So I would like to start planning a trip that's kind of geared around what you are super interested in. So are there any like flat out just like American things where you're like, I kind of want to see this or I want to do this?
Well, you're going to think I'm super daggy. Oh,
No.
actually, is that a word you use
What
in
the
America?
hell does that
Daggy?
mean?
Oh,
What
nerdy,
does daggy mean?
Daggy.
I hang
daggy
out in
is-
cemeteries, lady. Do you think I care about that?
What was I going to say? Well, obviously, you've already heard me say that I want to at least get a coffee in an Applebee's so I can take a picture
Oh,
to say I've
yeah?
been to Applebee's.
Oh no, we're going to Applebee's.
We've got to go to
Definitely.
Applebee's and the Waffle House,
Oh,
and Target because your Target
oh
stores.
yeah, I
go to
love
Target.
Target.
because your Target stores are very different to ours. Our Target stores, although they've got the same logo, nothing like your Target stores.
I'm writing a
the
list
same
'cause I
logo, same
cannot
name.
wait.
Yeah, but really boring. We just, in our Targets, all we sell is clothes, homewares, toys, and shoes. It's boring. Walmart, I've already been to a Walmart, so unless we need some food, I don't really need to see a
We'll
Walmart
probably
again.
go to Walmart.
But Walmart's okay.
We'll stop
what
at a
else?
Walmart so we can get something for dinner. Like, I'll pick you up from the airport.
Yep.
I've got some places I'm going to take you to, and then we'll stop at a Walmart, get some stuff for dinner,
Okay.
so that me and you can sit in the kitchen and we can cook and have a good time while we make food for the kids. We're all good.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. And I haven't really had a look to see what's in the places on our journey. So I figured that could just be more of a play it by ear type thing. Like, just like, oh, I didn't know, like, while you're driving, I can Google and go, oh, Jason, I didn't know such and such was just here. And then you probably roll your eyes and go, oh,
that's no, that's perfect, because the way I travel, guys, I don't know if I've explained this, but like, I like to get like a genuine idea of kind of where I would like to go. And so when I road trip, I'm like, okay, I'm going to this town, this town, and this town. And then I will literally go onto Google Maps and I will go to the starting location and I'll be like, oh, this is the road I'm taking. And I will just zoom in as close as possible. And I'll just start scrolling and be like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, that looks interesting. There's a Walmart in Louisville, Kentucky that takes up the space of 6 stores. All right. Let's
well,
go.
I'll go to that
Why
one
not?
just to say, and I'll take a photo and I'll say, Kibba, here I am.
One of the other things I really enjoy doing, if you haven't checked it out yet, Karen, I think this is something you would enjoy. Have you ever been to, what is it? Give me a hot second. Atlas Obscura, the website Atlas Obscura.
No.
Oh, girl. Atlas Obscura is a website of weird and interesting locations and things to do. You can narrow it down by location around the world. If you zoom in on, like, if you say like, I'm going to North America, I'm going to this state, it will say like, well, what city in that state? And you find the most weirdest things.
Cool.
And we're talking like roadside attraction type weird things like, hey, in this place, if you go to this town in this like location, they'll give you a map so you know exactly where it is. They're like, someone 50 years ago put a fork in the cement on this corner, and people like to like leave coins near this fork or whatever. And it's just a fork in a cement type that I'm totally just like making this up. But you can find it's literally a database for weird and interesting things around the world. And that's kind of where I start, where I'm just like, I'm going to this place. Let me check Atlas Obscura to find weird things in that location. I think you get it.
Oh, well, I've just opened it up, so I'll have a look later.
Yeah, just fart around on the website for a while. It is fun. And it's absolutely something I'm going to be doing as we get closer to our trip. I'm going to be like, Louisville, Atlas Obscura, what's there to see? Some of the, it's cool because a lot of the weird cemetery stuff pops up on there. So it's like, go to this cemetery because there's this very weird statue, or there's this like urban legend that comes from this location. Like it's a bunch of weird and cool things that that's the kind of thing I like when I travel. I like to see the weird and the unusual.
Well, I know.
Although Applebee's and Target works for me too. We can do a lot of those.
I think with me going to wherever we're going to, when you go through a little town, especially here in Australia anyway, and I've noticed it's very similar with America, there's bound to be something, and you can kind of, and sometimes just things randomly on the side of the road, you go, oh, what's that?
Oh, yeah. And I think that we are going to travel well together because I like that kind of thing. I like traveling and being like, What's that? Okay, well, let's
Yeah.
find out.
Let's go and have a look.
And
Yeah.
we will have enough time when we travel, I think, to do a lot of that. Of let's check it out real quick. Let's take 10, 15 minutes to go look at that thing. I think we're going to have a good time traveling together because we have that same like squirrel like interest type thing.
Hey, Maisie. I've never heard of a museum of obscure things and
Blake says,
deformities
I was
or-
given an Atlas Obscura book for Christmas a couple years ago. I've seen that book in a bookstore like literally like 2 months ago, and I almost bought it. I think I'm going to go back and buy it before I go on this trip because it's really, really cool. But the website's great because it's updated constantly.
I would like to go, but I don't think it's anywhere near where we're going. I'll get back to America again one day, but I'd like to go to the cemetery where the little girl is buried and her mum, and I think, I've talked to you about this before. The little girl's buried. There's little steps that lead down, and there used to
window.
be.
There used to be the window.
Because mum would go there and there's a lid, and mum would go there during a thunderstorm.
That burial is on Atlas Obscura. That's where I learned about it.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know where it is.
That broke my heart. But yeah, I don't know where it is either. But
I would love to go there. Love it.
Yeah, I just it's things like that that I think, and you kind of think, well, mum's long gone, the little girl's obviously long gone, and you sort of think, what a shame. I often find too, I was doing some research for a little episode I'll put up. It's not a big, long episode, guys. When I finally put it up, it's maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20. I haven't finished yet. But I was doing some research on some ladies that had lost their lives to somebody, and I found their graves, and they're too far away because they're down in Victoria, where I used to live. But I looked at the pictures. One's tended quite well, and the other two are completely forgotten. You can't read the names on them properly anymore and things like that. And I thought, how sad. How sad. So I guess in that instance, either the families have sort of forgotten about it or just don't bother.
Yeah,
but I thought at the end of it, I'm
um,
going to put where they are and just say to anyone down in that general direction, yeah, sure, don't clean the stone because you could break it, but at least go and visit and leave a flower. but yeah,
the cemetery with the viewing window for the little girl is in Mississippi, which is way far away from where we're going, but not too far away that it's out of the realm of possibility that I, on Cemetery Road, would go to in the near future.
Cool.
But yeah, and literally I searched it like real quick and it came up. The first website that had information on it is Atlas Obscura.
Oh, hey, cruising is fun anytime. Hello. I saw one of your little posts.
Hello.
Nice to see you in. We're just talking about our holiday and where we'll be going. It's not on a cruise though. I don't know. Maybe you and I could go on a cruise one day, Jason. I can fly out to America and we can go up to Alaska or something. That'd be pretty cool.
I would be super down for going on another cruise.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've
only been on one.
Have you? Where'd you go?
Yep. When we boarded the boat in Texas and went to like Jamaica and Mexico and the Grand Cayman Islands.
Well,
Wolf On says, "How are you, Karen and Jason? I'm doing pretty good right now, girl. I hope you are doing well."
Have you got your face
as
on,
well.
Helena? Lots of ladies like to have their face on. If she's got a face on and she's got a few minutes, she can always come and say hello.
Yeah, come hang out with us, Elena, if you are down.
Yeah,
I know there's a time difference for all of us, but
yeah, she might be
always good to see you.
I'll just.
Blake says, "Great to see Crow of Judas broke 3,000 subs." Absolutely, it is, especially since currently he only has like 40 videos, guys. So that's awesome.
There you go. It's there if you want it, Helena. You don't have to. Yeah, I know. I saw that. That was really good. And I think
somebody asked, Kindred says, "Where in Mississippi?" The girl that we're talking about, the girl's grave. It's in Natchez City, or Natchez, Mississippi, Natchez City Cemetery. It is the grave of Florence Irene Ford. She died at the age of 10, and her mother made a strange request. It says she asked that her daughter's coffin be fitted with a small window with stairs leading down to the casket. So they did that. They put her in a casket that had a small window in it, and then like the grave has little steps that lead down, and then there was a viewing window so that her mother could go there, look through the viewing window, look through the window in the casket, and see her daughter. But it became a problem, touristy kind of issues, all that kind of stuff. So long after her parents had passed away, they walled up, they bricked up the viewing window. But the grave, if you go there, there's still like the steps down that lead down about 6 feet, obviously. And then you see the brick where there would be a window to see inside of the burial chamber, but it's walled up now. But it really just highlights a mother's grief and the grief of losing a small child. Again, she was 10 years old. And it also, like in today's burial practices, at least in America, we've gotten very corporate, very sterile in our burying practices, to where like most modern day cemeteries are memorial gardens, if you will, memorial lawns, where it's just green grass and flat stones because it's easier to mow that way, and just, cramming a lot of people in a small space and keeping it all nice and neat. And I get that. I understand that. But back in the day, like when this little girl passed away, you really had free reign as to how you buried your loved ones, whether it just be like an ornamental stone or a kind of out of the box request, such as I want a viewing window and that kind of thing. So it's a prime example of how people mourned in terms of like making sure this was a place they could go to still be connected to their young daughter. And that kind of practice has obviously gone away in our modern day burial practices. But that's why this particular like burial is so unique and so interesting. And that's why people like to go check it out and want to know about it. And it's definitely one I want to go check out. It's one that's been on my radar for a while. And in terms of places I want to go, this location is very much I could hit it, because I want to go to Louisiana. I want to go to New Orleans. And from where I live to New Orleans, I can make a small detour to hit this cemetery. So hopefully within the next year or so, I will definitely.
You're talking about the cemetery in New Orleans, the one with all the. Because
of where they are in terms of the sea level, they bury everybody above ground. It's the New Orleans. It's cemetery number 1, I believe, which you can't really just like wander in and go hang out. You have to like go on a paid tour through it because it's such a tourist attraction. And if you haven't seen my newest episode that premiered literally 5-10 minutes before this live stream, I visited the old granary burial grounds in like literally the heart of Boston. And you'll notice it's like 5 minutes long because it's a small location, but there's no like me sitting there like chit-chatting in front of the camera. It's because it's a tourist attraction. And so I wasn't able to like sit there and talk to myself in front of a camera while I wandered around that place. But that's what it would be like for like New Orleans, any cemetery I visited in New Orleans that is that famous. But this place is kind of above, obviously it's in Mississippi, but it's on kind of the border of Mississippi and I think Louisiana. But if I'm going from where I live to Louisiana, like I can just pop over, like make a little detour to go check this one out, because obviously it's pretty interesting, and I want to bring the interesting to you guys in terms of Cemetery Road.
Yeah, and it's beautiful in a strange way, I guess, in a haunting way.
It is.
It's very beautiful. Most of the older cemeteries really are quite beautiful, and that's just because of all the artwork, and it's art. Those stones are artwork, like a stonemason carved those, not with a machine, like by hand, like it would have taken forever. And some of them, and I don't know, it's just kind of like people cared. No, that's the wrong thing to say. People still care about their dead, but it was like it was more of a very important thing to honour the dead back then when you buried them, as opposed to what you're saying now, where you're not. It's not that we don't want to. I would love to do something like that for my son. They are to. You can't even stick a little statue. Talking a little statue, you can't do a thing. You know, there's rules, so it's very annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kibber.
Kibber says, was Paul Revere? Yeah, was Paul Revere buried there? In terms of my last episode at the Granary Burial Ground, yes, Paul Revere's tombstone is there at the back, like middle back of this little cemetery in literally downtown Boston. That's one of the things that made it really cool. Which, again, it's unfortunate I wasn't able to like do walking and talking type shots, but it's also unfortunate I wasn't able to do like a drone shot because it's literally buildings everywhere and traffic and people. There's no way for me to fly a drone in that area, but it's really cool. It's really cool.
Dark cellar door. I want to be wrapped in a sheet and ditched in the forest.
We'll remember that.
Yeah, we'll remember that. We'll chuck you in the trunk and just pick what forest and we'll dump you.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Body found in forest. We didn't do it.
I've said to my kids, if anything happens to me and I die, just cook me, cremate me and take my act. I said, do not pay for a big memorial service. Not that anyone had come. And I said, don't pay money out for a coffin. Don't just nothing. I said, because they just make money from it and you're not allowed to do a night. No one comes to visit anymore at a grave. Not much. Unless it's just chuck my
I want
ashes.
to be cremated, and I've told my kids and stuff where I want to be like scattered and stuff. But I don't need like a big, like, don't spend money on like a big thing. Just have some friends and family over to a house, like tell some cool stories, drink beer, and like everybody get drunk and get stupid. Just go have some stupid fun and spread me somewhere. But like,
stories, and then later on go somewhere
and having some sort of service and all that kind of stuff. It's not what I want at all.
And it just makes the people that you pay to do that, it just makes them rich. And it does nothing to bring back the person you've lost. I mean, some people, maybe that makes them, after the loss of someone, maybe that makes them feel very good to have people around. But there's ways to honour people like that. Like go to an Irish wake, go to a pub, go to a place, everybody comes, you remember and you talk about them, put a photo up of them on the bar or whatever, and that's a nice way. And then do whatever.
Absolutely.
But it's a very personal thing, I suppose.
Listen, if you're not having a party, I don't care how old my people are when I pass away. Like if someone wakes up and just like, I don't remember what I did last night, then you did it right. You did it right.
Betty.
Just go do that.
Hey,
hello, Betty.
Betty's wonderful. I don't know if Betty can come on for a minute. She's always very busy, but I don't know. Well, hang on. Do you want to come on, Betty? I can just put the link in the chat. She'll let me. I had to be on a live for Nightbot class. Oh, Betty's learning how to use the Nightbot. It's very hard to use the Nightbot.
We're just hanging out tonight, guys. We're just kind of just futzing around, just having a good time. Tomorrow night, if you want to join us for Weeping Willow Paranormal, if you are subscribed there, go and subscribe to Weeping Willow Paranormal, because it's Cassie's birthday tomorrow night, and we're all going to be on a live, and we're going to wish her a happy birthday and probably talk about all of the things we're talking about tonight, but most likely also food. We're all just kind of trying to support each other, our channels on these live streams, and have fun, hang out with you guys. Hey,
Betty, that's Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Betty. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Betty's a laugh. If you're ever feeling down, you just go to one of Betty's little live streams she does or whatever, and she's a giggle. She's a lovely lady.
If you're ever feeling down, do not visit my channel.
Oh. What's your channel about?
No.
Cemetery Road. I hang out in cemeteries a lot. So if you're feeling down, hanging out in a cemetery is probably not the best place to start.
As a child, I used to love to play in the cemetery.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
no, I
thought
love
that, yeah.
cemeteries,
I love
but not
them
if you're
now.
feeling down. You don't want to be like, well, I should be with these people.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We got a real old cemetery that I could walk to, and I want to take a video of that one day.
Where are you from?
Florida.
Near
Ooh, see, I
Crow.
want to go to Florida.
Florida.
Florida's, I mean, honestly, anywhere on the East Coast, you have old, cool cemeteries. It doesn't matter where.
And I stayed. We even got Indian mounds too.
Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we got Indian mounds because whenever we have a hurricane in our area, they always say, and it does for some reason, it's heading to us and it'll turn. They say because the Indians, it's an old folklore or whatever, that they went out in the sea in order for the water wouldn't come up on the land. So that's why they even built the graves up in the mounds. So whenever the
That makes
bathroom
sense.
is approaching, it turns. So
you need to build your house next to an Indian cemetery.
yeah,
Is what
well,
you're
I stay pretty close. I'm on the highest land. So if we flood where I live, just say your prayers because ain't no use.
Yeah, the Florida's gone.
Yeah. Actually, that's something interesting about the Indian mounds, because oftentimes you'll hear say, oh, you don't, if you've built something on old Indian grounds or whatever, Native American grounds, I want to be correct. It's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. But I think
I would say it's bad no matter whose grave you bury you build your stuff on.
But I wonder sometimes too, though, if you built and you didn't know and then you found out, there must be something you can do to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sort of stuck in this. Live together.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, Betty, I've been wanting to ask you, because obviously a lot of times when we're on here, we talk about ghosts and we talk about different things. But have you actually ever seen a ghost or seen anything spooky?
All my life.
I mean, Karen's pretty spooky, right? Yeah, so we've seen her.
Yeah, especially when I was a child and all through my life, different, yeah. Yeah, all through my life. Yep. It wasn't like a scary. So, some people say they're scary, whatever. Never really scary. But yeah, I have.
Wow.
Yeah, I have. But for some reason, I don't like people that read cards and palms. I kind of I don't. That's just me personally. I don't know why. I just don't have. I even told Heather that, and she said, "I understand."
Heather.
I totally understand that too. Like, there's nothing wrong with people who are into the spiritual or paranormal or anything like that. Having like a thing where they're like, I have boundaries. Where I'm totally open to the world that we are investigating in terms of like paranormal or spiritual, but I don't mess with this. And like, even if it's like something like me and Karen could be like, no, we're palm readers. And we love palm reading. And you're just like, not my thing. Like, I can respect the fact that like, oh, that's not something you mess with. Cool. For me, the only thing there's two things that I don't really screw around with when it comes to spiritualism and paranormal investigation and any of that kind of stuff. I have a hard time with Ouija boards.
Oh,
and
that was on the tip of
aggravating whatever you are investigating, like approaching an investigation with a negative and like, I want to rile you up mindset. That's where those are the two things where I'm like, I'm not okay with that. Like, and other people, even friends I have, are like, Ouija boards, fine. Like, we're good with Ouija boards. I'm like, cool, that's for you. I'm never going to go into an investigation or anything with Ouija board stuff, because I feel like personal belief has a lot to do with what you experience in terms of like the spiritual realm. And if I go in believing that if I messed with a Ouija board, that I would bring forth something negative, whether it be valid or not, it doesn't really matter. But my strong belief in that could affect what the experience I have is, and I don't want to deal with that. And so like I just don't. And there's plenty of people that if that's your thing, if that's what you want to, you can go check those guys out. But I'm going to stick with what I feel is going to protect me personally.
Yeah.
And so for you to be like, this is kind of where I draw the line. These are my boundaries, kind of thing. I absolutely respect that. Like, and I absolutely get that, because as much as I haven't experienced like palm reading and the stuff, you're like, it's not really my thing. And I kind of draw that line. If I had to experience it, if I had to go into something that had those things, I wouldn't do it without like I have to sit there and be like, is that something I want to deal with? Is that something is that going to bring something negative in personally?
The other thing though about what Betty was alluding to, and maybe Betty will understand this as well, what I'm trying to say, and can elaborate on it. When you go, and I've gone to see someone shortly after I lost my son. Big mistake, because you go there thinking, oh, is he trying to tell me something? And these people are charlatans. Like they, so that's okay. I learned by my mistakes. But the other thing with even reading the tarot cards, all right, it's all down to interpretation. So if you go and sit in front of someone and they put out some cards and tell you what's going on with your life now and what to do and how to do, that can actually be a bad thing, because it can influence you. If you believe, it can influence you to do something really stupid with your life. Like, don't, like, because you can be going in with a good attitude and think, I think I'll do this. And then someone puts the cards out and says, oh, well, someone's going to make trouble there and somebody's going to do such and such there. Then you walk out of there and thinking, oh my God, who's going to make trouble for me, and it can make you do silly things. So I'm not particularly a fan for that reason. If you look at it as a bit of fun and just a game, maybe, but not to the point.
I think some people can, because they don't really believe in the spirit realm. So I think some people can play around with it until they happen upon something.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to what you are believing. Like, I feel we can open up windows and doors to things just through belief. And so, like, if you're just like, oh, this should be fun, this will be fun to do with my girlfriends, and like I don't really believe this, but like, read my palm, am I going to meet the man of my dreams? That's one thing. But if like you are serious about the paranormal, serious about the supernatural, and you really believe, and you hear something that's that's rough to hear, or that's positive to hear, but you're being told by someone you don't exactly know or trust, that could really mess you up. And I think it really, like Karen said, she went to someone in a moment where she needed to hear some stuff, but like she regrets it. It comes down to trust, like, and it's hard what we do on YouTube, and we're out there. And I think we say this a lot on our live streams of like, you have to trust what we're doing. That when we go to a location and we investigate the paranormal and we have an experience, a lot of those times they are non-provable experiences. They are personal experiences. And you need to trust that when we say we had them, that you believe in them. And that goes the same for like, if you go to a spiritualist, a palm reader, a psychic, or whatever, like, you're paying this person money. How much do you trust this person to like give you solid super information? And that's a you decision, like a personal decision you need to make when you are in that moment. But I would say if you're paying that person, that I don't know how much I'm going to trust what they say, no matter what they say it, because they're either going to try and make you paranoid enough to come back, or hopeful enough to come back. Like, that's their thing. Like, what do I need to tell this person to make them come back in a few weeks to be like, well, I need to know more. It's a little rough. It's hard.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But we're in a world where trust is so uniquely important.
It's really sad. It's sad because we're all in this universe. We're all interconnected. You know, we're all the whole universe, and it's kind of sad because the color difference, everything. But we're all
Beliefs.
Yeah, and we're all
But we're all connected.
we're all connected. We are
Yeah.
all, and it's sad, that you but I don't know if you've ever heard and I was surprised because I met quite a few people, but when I was born, and I still believe it was the sack that the baby's born in, but when kids used to come out a long time ago, they used to have this veil over their face. But I still think it was a sack. But my mom said when I came out, and they believed that had something in it, and they also believed it had life in it. And I was one of those kids that had that. And I met a couple other people, but I think it's more of an empath thing where you feel. That's what I think. Not the future for me personally. It's not the future. I feel more than anything. Or even some things can't attach. Even like Heather, sometimes that doll she has, I'm up there looking at the dolls.
Another friend has a
can attach. But I've never had anything to scare me. I can remember I was looking information about my father one time, and it must have conjured up a lot because I could remember laying in the bed and somebody was singing, and it was a song that somebody used to sing to me when I was a baby. So, you start messing around a little bit and sometimes stuff just, come up. But I think I'm more of a feeler than anything, not trying to look.
I think I'm like that too, Betty.
Yeah.
I sometimes poor old Jason, and I'm probably wrong, and because we're over the internet, but sometimes it can just even be a person close by, and even just at the shops, I can be standing next to someone and they're kind of giving off a vibe, and you think, I bet that person's had a bad day.
Yeah.
So I don't say anything, but I might make a joke to say the lady serving them or something like that, and go, oh, isn't it? And or give a compliment. Sometimes you see someone looking or sad, and I'll walk past and I'll go, oh, hey, that's a lovely dress, and they'll look at me. I'm a complete stranger, but they'll look at, oh, thank you, and you just know that you've made their day a little bit, because it's like a feeling you get.
No, and like that stretches to like when you're not next to those people. Like I personally, I know that Karen randomly will reach out to me. Like I'll just, and it will be randomly, like, hey, just thinking of you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I've had a really crappy day and I was not feeling great. And then randomly, because me and Karen do communicate a bunch, but it's not like constant. So I'll just get that message of like, hey, love you. Just want to let you know. Like, I'm thinking of you. And I'm just like, Karen's got that gift to be like, she's so empathetic that like halfway across the world, the other side of the planet, she's like, Jason needs to hear this. I'm just going to tell him I'm thinking of him.
I think Betty is very much like that myself. Whenever I tune in, sometimes I can't tune into Betty when she's on live because of the time difference. I think she goes on at something like 4:30 in the morning. And
calm down, Betty. Calm down.
Yeah, calm down. But not 4:30 her time, my time. But I'll go in and I can hear her. I just listen to her talk to people, and she's so good at making everyone feel good. Like she'll of course you can do it. Don't be silly. Of course you can.
I'll talk about my mornings, and I know they probably think I'm crazy because I don't know what I'm going to talk about the night before. But I always tell them, I say, you can believe it or you don't believe it. But when I wake up in the morning, I get in my shower, a quiet time, and it just all comes what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, the shower's the best time.
I keep telling everybody, it just comes to me and say, okay, this is what you're going to talk about today. I say, I know y'all all think I'm crazy out there, but it's true.
It's weird. I'm like, I don't know why, but I think like you say shower time. So I'm thinking like hot shower, sitting in there in the hot shower, like that really opens up my mind too. Like that's a moment where I'm just like, let's think about it, kind of thing. I don't know if it's like the water part of it, because I do that when I'm like, I'm going to take the kayak on the lake. I'm going to, you know, go on the river. Like, I don't know if water, just like being on the water, really just the uninterrupted flow of nature just kind of opens up your mind and like thought process to be like, you think about things.
I know, and be my
Whether
age.
it's deep or not, it could be surface level or it could be like super deep, kind of like introspective stuff.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like being on the water, either in the shower or being like in nature on the lake or a river or something like that,
just that
just
quiet.
makes you just like, let me stop and pause to this. Like the world is being moved by the water itself. So I can just stop and think. And for me, that happens. Absolutely.
It is. It's, you know, it is. And, you know, I look at YouTube and I was retired about 11 years before I started YouTube.
Which is weird because you're only about like 23, 24.
No, I am 57. And
Nope.
by Chinese calendar, I'm 68.
You look amazing, lady.
What they say, I'm 68. But, you know, it's just life.
68 months old?
Yeah. But, you know, it's nice living that long, though. That's why I tell people, I don't know why people are so fearful about aging, especially if you have the quality of life. That's what you
because
want.
sometimes it's a little rough. It's a little rough, girl. You get tight, you get sore. I don't know. I moved funky today, and now my neck hurts. I don't know why.
Betty, do you find now that she said how old she is, she's only a couple of years older than me.
She's about 42.
Right. Well, yeah. You know, I'm 35. Betty's 42. No, but I found when I was younger, in my 20s, it was all about you know, making sure the hair's just right, wearing the right shoes, or all that sort of crap, which disco to go to, blah, blah, blah. Then you have your children, and then it's all about being a mum. And then that all passes. It's still about being a mum for me because they still live with me. But as you get older and things happen, you realize what's actually important. So the important thing is still to look after yourself health-wise and still take care in your appearance. But things, to me, I don't know about you, but things just become a lot clearer as to what's important and what's not. Like what to worry about and what not to worry about. I don't know. I just think it's the old saying, with age comes wisdom. It should be the reverse. It should just be you're born with it.
When we had the energy and everything.
Well, hopefully you realize that before you don't have the energy, before you don't have like the ability to do those things. At least for me, because I'm not super old, but I'm like I'm 42 years old. Like, but I feel old.
He's a baby.
I feel old in some senses, but like my whole, like a lot of my passion comes from traveling, from jumping in my vehicle, doing road trips, seeing the weird, seeing the like open road, traveling and hearing other people's stories, which is one of the great things about like the internet, about like this. Like I get to learn about Betty today, who lives in Florida, who has experienced life in a whole different way than I have. And I get to experience that from the comfort of my own home. But I also love jumping in the car and driving and all that kind of stuff. So like I need a lifestyle that will accommodate me traveling and jumping in the car and having those kind of things, even if it's like a day's worth of driving and back kind of thing. I wish I would have had some of the insight that I did 10, 15, 20 years ago to do more of that earlier. And so I hope that like on the internet, people who are in the chat can be like, I'm 23 years old. And this guy on the internet saying like, appreciate that of freedom and like go out and do that thing. If that's what you want to do, go and do it. And so they don't waste time. I think as we get older, we appreciate time more in terms of like, we understand that time is fleeting, time is limited. And I'm not even talking about like, you're going to die someday, but like you will have a point where it's like your body starts to hurt when you do the simple things like even sitting
Not
in a
trying to
car
get
for
out of
6
bed in the
hours
morning.
can
Yeah.
like rough you up. So like it's that thing of like appreciate what you have when you have it, which is hard. I get that's hard because you just, especially when you're young, you just think that's forever. You think whatever you were feeling right that moment is
Yeah,
forever.
the
It's
problem
not.
with being young is that you're always right. You don't have to worry about anything. Old people are stupid. What would they know? La la la.
But
And then you get to a certain age. I have to say though, I never thought like that when I was younger. I would listen to my grandmother. I would. I was a bit different. They would tell me things. I didn't necessarily follow their advice, but I listened. Yeah, I just sort of think that as you get older, you realize, and even in my job, I'm not quite sure what you did as a job, Betty.
Mm-hmm.
she was an international assassin.
I'm a nurse.
Super weird.
She worked for that.
She worked for the CIA. Pew pew.
Yeah, no, she's all right. But I worked in nursing, so I would go into some of the aged care facilities and.
You keep cutting out, Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh, am I? Can you
There
hear
you
me?
are.
I can hear you
Yep.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get told off a lot for talking too much to the clients or to the people.
What?
Who lived in the
You?
I know, because you had to, when you work in a facility like that, it's on demand. So you've got to go quick, get everyone in the shower, get them all their breakfast, get them dressed for the day. That's the end of the story. But I would take longer. And sometimes I'd sneak back on my tea break instead of going to the room where you have your break, the break room. I would go to a client's room, take them a cup of tea and sit down and ask them to tell me all about what they did when they were young. One of the questions I always asked was, how did you meet your husband? Was it romantic, etc.? And do you know what? All the people I spoke to that had been through the wartime, like 1940s, World War II, some of the people, none of it was romantic. They all got married because he was going off to war, so they quickly went to the courthouse and got married. I'm like, oh, all right, well that's a bit boring.
I thought she was gonna hear something romantic.
I know,
No,
right? The
nothing
movies lied to
romantic.
you, girl.
And then I'm like,
I know they did.
Yeah.
They lied to people.
yeah,
They
it does.
did.
It's nothing's wrong. but I used to love the stories. And when you actually stop and take the time to ask anybody, they don't have to be older than you, but ask anyone just to tell you their story. Oh, so how did you get to where you are now? And what it's interesting. Everyone's
It
got
is.
a story.
And
Even
you
if
don't
there's
appreciate that when you're young, though, because
No,
you're so
you
full
don't.
of yourself
Well,
and
another
your own
thing too,
journey.
it's not only that you're full of yourself. I think by the time late 20s, 30s, you're so busy with your
Yeah.
children, your family. You don't have time. I know at some point I did get it, but then I always forgot it because I was just so busy. Then I'll
Yeah.
get it and then I'll lose it again. So, that's why I always try to talk to people around that age. I try to catch their attention because those are the ones that's really the one losing time. We're already there.
Yeah.
I'm already there at that point. And I really
Yeah.
didn't feel it until I got 60. A lot of people before they get that age, but I'm like, oh my God, I am 60 years old. How did I get here? So I really didn't feel it until then, where it was like, okay, I can't live another 60 years, girl.
I know. I'm terrible at math, but when I started thinking about how old I am and I started doing some math, and I'm like, at best, if I am like healthy, which
that's what you
I'm
want.
not, I'm not going to live another 42 years. Like I'm on the back end of my hill.
84, people your age, they say the same thing. And I'm like, why not? You're only 42, 40 more years, you're going to be 80. I mean, why not? You got so much more to live.
Here's the thing. Like,
what?
I think it's better if you feel more doom and gloom in terms of like, I'm 42. Do I think I'm going to live to 84? Maybe I will. But if I think I won't, will
I?
I appreciate everything that comes right now more? Because I think if I think like, oh no, I'm totally going to live to 84, then
Yeah.
there's so much more reason for me to push stuff off. Well, I got another 42 years, so I'm gonna push off that thing I want to do because I got 42 years to accomplish that. But if I think I only got maybe another 30 years left or less, like because honestly,
No
I think
wonder
anybody that lives like I think we should live a way that appreciates how far we've come already, because I think there's so many people that didn't live past 10, didn't live past 20.
That's
didn't,
right.
we have no guarantee that tomorrow's going to come for
No.
any of us. Doesn't matter
And
what age you are. You could be 1 to 101. You have no guarantee you're going to get
No,
tomorrow. We
none
need to
at all.
live like it's our last day. And I don't mean live recklessly,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
mean like don't
stop and smell
if
the
you have
roses.
something you are passionate about that you want to do. For me, travel. If I want to travel and
Oh,
see some
do
stuff
it.
and meet
Yeah,
people and
do
do
it.
go do it now.
Yeah.
Don't be like, I've got plenty of time. I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time. Because eventually you're either going to realize you don't have any time, or it just you won't, because it will suddenly stop.
Yep.
And like that's where I'm at in my life. Of like, I feel like I'm going to put off some stuff that's like, I don't know, serious or needed. Like, hey, I have that bill I need to pay, or I can go visit my friends 7 hours away for 2 days and like just kind of have to catch up on that bill. I'm going to choose that, because ultimately what I'm going to remember is that trip to visit my friend. What I'm not going to want to remember is the fact that I didn't get to visit my friend because I was trying to be I was trying to catch up on a bill or get ahead in some way, like, be an adult or responsible adult. I think there's that balance you need to find of being a responsible adult, but also don't sacrifice your passion, your need, your love for just like, but I got to do this thing. I don't mind dying in debt. Like, I don't mind. Like,
oh no, you'll have life insurance, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I really, truly, honestly want to live the life I wanted to. I absolutely remember this is like a personal kid story of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an older brother. He's about 3 years older. I have a cousin who's about 3 years older. So him and my brother were very close in age, if not like the same year. And then there was me. I was 3 years younger than them, the little kid. I absolutely remember being on a road trip. I think we were coming from Disneyland. We're in the this is like aging myself. We're in the back of a station wagon, no seat belts. We were just out in the back of the station wagon looking out a window. It was desert. We were driving through Nevada, nothing to see. Parents or adults in the front seat and whatever. And we talked about, like, as children, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I just want to travel. That was our thing. Like, we talked as kids about traveling, being travelers, and all the places we were going to see, all the things we were going to do. And I'm the only one that held on to that, like, dream. My brother, he's 3 years older, but that's like a lifetime older. He had kids, got married, like, he's settled down. He has, he doesn't do a whole lot of traveling. My cousin, exact same way. Me, I started that journey, but I'm like, no, I want to travel. So I've gone to Europe. I've gone across America a few times. Like, I'm constantly wanting to jump in a vehicle and just travel to podunk little towns all the way up to big cities in America and across the world. I'm a traveler. I am striving and have somewhat become the thing I wanted to when I was a kid, a traveler, a learner of the world. And I kind of like anything I do in life in terms of jobs, in terms of whatever, is to make sure that is still a part of my life. If you're going to get a job, it may not pay the amount of money that's going to make you rich, but will it give you the time and the money to be the traveler? That's how I
You can
look at
always rob a
anything,
bank.
and that is
You can't rob
my
a bank anymore. There's no
thing.
money in them.
I don't want to rob a bank. What's wrong with you? That's because you come from Australia. You're a bunch of criminals. Oh my gosh.
Well, we were. So Betty,
There's still a little criminal in you, girl.
No, Betty, when
Uh,
you turn,
When you turned what?
oh,
Okay. What
60,
did you-
60. When you turn 60, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Whenever you turn 60, because currently you are 34.
Yeah. So what do you think it was changed for you to make you think, hey, I better do something? Like, what was it? Just you woke up one morning and thought, oh my God, I'm 60. I better do something.
I
Like,
think just the mortality part kicked in.
yeah.
The mortality. I didn't have like the other things people have, like the aches, the pains, and people always ask me about, do you have a night? No, not yet. But yeah, it was just the mortality part.
I think it's the same for me, because you hit that age and you think, gosh, really? Look how quickly the time has gone to lead up to 60. Like, it's gone really fast.
My oldest is 45 and my youngest.
Well, I felt that like a sense of mortality when I was like 9.
Well, that's not.
I grew up with a sense of mortality.
Every younger person I talk to, like his age, they'll all say, I don't think I'm going to live to 80 some years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're living healthy to the 80 something, like if you.
But they said one time, I remember the American, they had took some kind of survey thing, and they said this is going to be the generation where parents will bury their children because they're, because of their health issues, the way they ate, the way they lived, all the bad habits. So I said a lot of times they worry about us parents, but they need to be worried about their own self, because a lot of them.
No,
So
and that's
because it's the first time
I've picked an age,
Betty, I know you're pushing 28 years old.
No, I love pushing 67.
But do you have kids?
I have a 45-year-old. He stays in Melbourne, Australia. And with all his children, he has 7.
Oh, Christ.
He has
7 kids?
6 girls, 1 boy. Don't ask me why.
He looks 80. He looks 80.
No, you know what? He's gonna do really, really. He's gonna age well. But he eats well too. He makes sure he eats healthy and stuff. But he's 45 and 7 kids, 6 girls, 1 boy. Boys run heavy on my father's side. And my
heavy or just like
the
big?
poor man.
I don't know why he had all those kids, but God bless him. That's all I can
Well,
tell
I don't know how he did it.
Ooh, I'm just
You only
glad
had
they're in
one?
Australia. I am. No,
No,
I
he's
have
got 2.
The other one is 40 years old. He stays in America.
Yeah, like you had 2 and you're like, enough. The other one's like, maybe 7. I don't know. That sounds fun.
And the other one had 3, so he's like, so
No, that sounds a little bit more. I have 3 plus a bonus kid. But 7 is like, you hate yourself. Like you just you
I don't
didn't
know
want to
what they're
have a
gonna
life
do when they
anymore.
become teenagers. I'm like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but that is all on y'all. That is.
I feel like with my mom, like my brother has 2 kids plus some bonus. He remarried and he got some bonus kids.
Bonus kids.
And like I remember my mom, like when I said, "Hey, we're having a baby," first time she's like, "I'm so excited, that's great." And I'm like, "We have the second kid." She's like, "I'm so excited, that's great." We have the third kid. She's like, "Okay, that's fine." And then we got the bonus kid because we basically adopted a girl, and she was just like, "Okay,
that's it."
Okay, like that's great. But this said stop. Like she's just like, stop,
it's
please.
like, come on now, y'all. This is
It was the same for me when I had my first one. I'm pregnant. Oh yeah, everything got knitted for me and crocheted for me.
Yeah.
Second one, same. Third one, Fourth one.
Oh, God, she can't.
Fifth one again. Sixth one. Is this the last one? And it was. Six babies.
You're like, I'm not doing anymore.
I stopped at two.
Yeah, you're
no,
smarter
that was
than all
probably-
combined.
Yeah,
It's fine.
smarter than
But all
all.
my friends basically had about two, but my sister-in-law had
Yeah.
4. She probably was the only
Problem
one.
is,
that
you
had
were
about
just like
2.
2. I'm the smart
Two
one, and then
is
your son's like
more than-
grandchildren.
If I
Boom,
knew
boom,
what I
boom,
knew
boom,
today,
boom.
it would have been one.
Hey, Betty, tell Jason about. I remember watching one of Betty's little. She also does little videos, but one of them where you were talking about some. Because Betty, I think she's beautiful. Like, look at her hair and look at her.
Oh,
You should see her when she's all
cute.
dressed up and everything. But some young girls were
Oh.
making comments, weren't they? Tell Jason.
Oh, she came and somebody made up a fake account and everything, and she told me to stop competing with young women. And so I turned it around and made it a
What does
short.
that even mean?
I know.
Yeah.
I turned around and made it a short, and I said, and if you were winning the competition, why are you messing with me? And that got over 1,000 and some views.
Heck yes.
I'd be winning the competition, young lady.
It's like, it's not my fault that I look this good.
That's right.
I'm not winning the competition.
Like,
Yeah.
listen, I feel old. I feel old and ugly, but like, I think this is a good looking group right here. I'm just saying.
It is. It is.
We are like, if you want plastic, there are other channels we can point you to.
I
If you
know,
want
but
real
somebody-
good look,
Even one YouTuber was
we are
on
here.
her panel, and she was saying, I think that grandmas, she was talking about me, grandmas should dress a certain way. So I just laughed because I just thought they had dressed the way I want to dress
Oh,
anyway.
grandma should be in bikinis,
Yeah, they
huh?
should be
All right,
dressed-
let's do this
yeah,
thing.
Dress like an old little muff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think
like I
I think
just
it comes down to like what we've been talking about is like no matter your age, like we need to live our lives at some
Yeah.
point. Like, and for you two, it's
Yeah.
looking
and especially
super
if you want that
schmexy and all
vibrancy
that
as
kind of
you
stuff.
get older.
For me, it's just like I'm gonna jump in the car and do some traveling.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Do what you believe in and go for it. You know,
Yeah.
like I say, do it now. You know, like
Do
you
it
say,
now before you can't. Not even like
and don't
and I'm not
listen
even
to
talking
other
like-
people, even if
No.
you tried and you failed, but you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
No.
not even talking about like financially, don't do it because you've got
Yeah.
financial problems or like time problems. Like, you can work around that stuff, but
Yeah,
ultimately, like, especially for like what I'm dealing with right now, is like physically, like, you don't know when you're going to start breaking down. Honestly, you're
Yeah,
not going to know
that's
when you have that knee problem that's going to keep you from running. You're not going to know when you have that back problem that keeps you from like sitting
what if
down
you
in the
never
car
get
doing it.
it? What if you never
Like,
get it?
Yeah,
And
you just gotta
that-
go.
you
Go
might
now.
not ever get to the point where you
No,
got
I know
someone-
what you're saying, but I don't have that. I'm 67 years
And that's
old. so
awesome. But
I
what
know
if
I
you
don't
did?
have that. I know. I
Don't
know
wait.
what you're saying.
You're like, oh, Betty says
I
I'm
know what
60
you're
and
saying. But
I
let
don't
me
have that
tell you,
problem.
I said
don't
most,
sit there and be like, well, I'll wait till I'm 60 then.
but I'm gonna tell you, most people that live and that have the quality of life, I'm gonna put that, and the vibrancy.
Yeah.
Usually, those people, when they have pain, they push through it.
Yep.
I've noticed that with older people, when they're in good health, basically, or even if they've had an operation or something, and they have pain after, they push through though. That's the difference. I'm not saying that everybody can, but growing old, it's not for the weak.
What's important? You're gonna push through it if it's
Yeah,
important to you.
Yeah,
and that's something.
it's you gotta
Yeah.
push through it.
And that's something I've noticed too, Betty, with looking after people that are elderly. You get some older people that are really frustrated by the fact, oh my God, this is happening to me, rah, rah, rah. And like I said, they push through.
'cause you don't have
Then you get the other ones who go, oh well, you know, the doctor
Or
says
they
I
just
have to
give
lose
into it,
weight
yeah.
or I might die.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and you think exactly the doctor says stop eating that crap and eat
Ah.
well. or you'll die. Dump, dump, dump.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People with diabetes
jump.
and they boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
No
oh my
dump, dump,
God,
dump from
people.
doof, doof, doof.
Yeah. Doof, doof, doof. But it is attitude and
Yeah, but really, you start growing old before you even get old, is what I tell you, because it starts really.
Yeah, like I look at you, Betty, and I don't see age. I don't even look at that. I see someone who's happy and out there doing what she loves and giving people encouragement. Whereas I can look at someone else and I think, oh my God, how old are they? Maybe 80 or something, and they're only
they're a lot younger.
Yeah, they're just it's because of
mostly
their
because that's because they gave up.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. And they lose all their vibrancy. They lose like my baby sister right now that's hated her job for years. She's an RN, so she makes good. I told her the other day, I think she's finally listening to me. Think outside the box, girl. Life is gone. You can do so much more. You don't have to go to that job every morning.
No. That's why I stopped working, Betty. I stopped the job.
She did.
I just
me and Karen are unemployed folk. We looking for jobs.
But I did that
after our trip. After the trip, we go on.
I was on a job 15 years, and I had 2 kids, single parent, and a mortgage, and I left the job. Yep. So and everybody said, "Were you frightened?" I'm like, no, it was just time. And that took me, and then that ended up taking me to one spot of my life. But then before I retired, it took me to something I love, because I love pregnant women. Always, don't ask me why, it's just in me. And I became a doula, just a part where a woman's in labor and you're helping them with labor and stuff. And that's how I ended my career. That's what I did. And if I wouldn't have left the bank, I wouldn't have never made it to there.
You wouldn't have done it. Yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes I'm a great believer in sometimes things just happen, and let them happen.
Let them happen.
And be positive, because that means
that
something
is where I'm
good
at
is
right
around
now.
the corner.
I'm just letting it happen.
Let
it
happen,
Jason, and good comes.
Happen.
Just looking at the chat real quick, guys. We got Betty. Betty is heading out for the night. Thank you, Betty, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Antoine has joined the chat. Antoine, good to see you. And everybody else who's hanging out with us. I know Joe went and did his live, so if you've popped out to go visit Joe, that's awesome as well, because we are a big family here. That when you support one of us, you support all of us. So don't feel bad at all. But we're just going to keep hanging out. Maisie Rose says, I got hit by a car. I'm not able to work anymore. My life has changed, but I'm not giving up. I have a new life now. You shouldn't give up. I wish you didn't have to get hit by a car to know that. But I hope you're doing pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
And pain-free. I hope you are living pain-free, lady.
Yeah.
Like, and I know when people have like injuries like that, sometimes it's like the pain is all you feel, and sometimes good night, Dark Cellar Door. And sometimes you can like live your life, but know like that pain's on the horizon, because the pain in your physical body comes and goes, kind of thing. But like, I hope you really, really appreciate that calmness of like not being in pain, and you enjoy that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like we're here for you, Maisie. Don't worry.
Yeah. And that's just a thing, much like Betty, her channel's the same. You can go, like, you can come here, and if we're looking at the chat,
sorry guys,
I got to get better.
Yeah, but it's a place to come with no negativity. Like, I don't want anything negative in my chats. If I see that, I'll either pull you up straight away and go, "Oi, like that's enough," or or I'll say, "Well, hang on, what's the problem? Why do you feel like that?" But it's a place, because some of us are isolated, some of us don't have family close by, some of us, and this can be like a little family. And you get to meet people, like Betty's already, you're going to meet, I think, Heather when she comes over to America.
Yeah,
I'm going to catch up. And the same with Jason and myself. That's how we met, because we met first on the briefly, didn't really know each other on here. But a friend said, and then he did the nice thing. He picked me up when I was in Virginia City and took me out to lunch to show me a few things, thinking, oh, an Australian, she needs to see.
I did. Like Karen was like, I'm from Australia and I'm coming over to America for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just like I appreciated the time and the money, and I was just like, I really just want her to have a good time, so I'll pick her up and I'll show her a good time. Like, hopefully, I'm like socially awkward. Like, I have social anxiety, and so I was just like, I hope she's not crazy and like too much for me to handle. Like, honestly, I was worried that she would be like,
but you don't
not
know
someone I can personally handle.
until you
But I
meet
really,
them.
yeah, and I didn't. I wanted to make sure like I could produce like a fun time for this person. And
Skype if you had
like,
to.
I pulled up and it's Karen. Like, just look at her. She's Karen. She can't help herself. She's like, Jason, and I'm just like, you, and like almost from like, it took 5 minutes maybe for me to be like, I really like this person, because I'm so socially awkward and socially like just stressed. She just talked. She talked and talked and talked. And I know some people would be like, oh, like I'm talking too much, like whatever. But it was so much of a comfort for me to not have to carry a conversation, not to be the person who like engaged, because she was just happy to be like, I'm going to talk for 10 minutes. And then like, that would give me like a few minutes to respond to whatever she was talking about, and then she would talk for another 10 minutes. So like, she took over the conversation. It made me feel so comfortable that like, by the time we ended hanging out, she's like, oh, Cassie and Ron from Canada, I'm gonna go meet them from dinner. Do you want to hang out with us? Like, I was like, hell yes, because I want to hang out with you, like, because you make me feel comfortable. And that allowed me to meet Cassie and Ron. And like, it was this thing of like the perfect storm kind of thing of like social anxiety and all that kind of stuff, where I was able to be like, this will work for me. And it created what I didn't know at the time, a friendship that's like, literally these three people are my best friends. And when I need something, I go to them, period. And we haven't even known each other a year. Like it's just like an instantaneous recognition of like, these are the people I need, and I will hold on to those people. But it started with Karen just being like Karen, and not knowing when she met me that that's what I needed. Like, it's weird. It's weird how that all worked out.
Yep. And this is so weird, really, because honestly, normally I'm not on like after 8 o'clock.
I've never seen you or heard of you. I've never seen your name pop up in chat.
I came one time by, but normally I'm gone for YouTube at before 8 o'clock. But I had a Nightbot class, which everybody like, what Betty doing here? That know me. And then I stopped by here, and then I'm like, okay, might as well go up, but she ain't gonna see me for a look, because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning too. So
Ooh,
I know that's why I go to bed early. But when I first started YouTube just took over my whole life. So I'm just at the point where YouTube's not going to have my life. And then I'm going to decide by the end of the year, what am I going to do? If I'm going to stay with YouTube, or by the end of the year, I'll know what I want to do.
Yeah. It's all a big adventure, isn't it? And it's just wonderful if you use YouTube in a good way.
Yeah.
You can make some lovely friends.
Yeah.
And look, yes, you might not be able to actually get to go in person and have a cup of coffee or a drink with some of these people because they're only in the chat, they're far away. But some of these people might actually be sitting at home with
Oh,
nothing
no.
to do or whatever, and we say hello to them and bring them into the chat and talk and whatever. It's just a way of supporting people.
Because a
So
lot of older people don't talk to their kids either. So,
that's right.
you know what I mean? So a
The
lot
kids
of
are all busy with their children or whatever. So it's nice. And I don't know. And I'm just trying to put out some things for people to look at. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just want to do things that make people happy. So,
how long have you been
so I
doing
put a
the
few
YouTube?
things up, and when I have live chats,
I mean,
only
Karen
when
has
Jason,
only been
not
doing the
after I got back.
YouTube stuff since October, or not even October, November.
Oh, okay.
November.
Like
Yeah.
we all met in October, and Karen became like just a presence in everybody's live streams and stuff. And so she's like, well, I guess I need to start a YouTube channel. Like I need to like put out something. And she did. And as minimal as it is in terms of like, she doesn't put out anything, like she's not on like a schedule and stuff.
No.
Like it's nice. Like it's positive. Like, and I think it doesn't matter what you do in life, especially on the internet, especially on the internet, on YouTube and stuff. If you're going to put positivity out, which is what Karen does, like that's enough. So she doesn't need to put out like every week, 2 episodes a week of just like whatever content. She's not looking to like make it. She's not looking to become a YouTube star or anything like that. But she is enjoying herself producing, which is what I do with my stuff. So I absolutely understand that content. But she's also producing positive content, which is great as well. And then like obviously she's teamed up with like her friends, me and Cassie and Ron and Joe and you, and like she's built up a community of like-minded positive people to just hang out with. Hey, it's great. We get our positive hangouts get to be content for her channel, but it's also like we just get to be positive in general. Even if we're talking just
the other thing,
nothingness, just like, oh, isn't this dumb thing cool? And food and fast food and like goofy movie trivia and like aliens. You know, it doesn't matter because we are all producing positive content.
Yeah. It's just when I went on to Betty's channel, actually I'm trying to think.
I love you, Macy.
Yeah, we love you too, Macy.
Love you.
Bill, from Warm Armstrong. Bill. I think I was watching him and then you popped up and that's how I found you.
Oh, okay.
And I think might have been the other way around, but either way. But Bill is coming to Australia in only a couple of weeks, I think.
I
know. So I've said to Bill that I'll meet him at the airport. I'll take him for some coffee and I'll drop him off wherever he needs to because he gets here for a few days before the cruise.
Because he went to Sydney the last time.
Yeah, he's coming to Brisbane.
And there was a girl there that was you, but she didn't meet up with him though. So.
Yeah, so
there was a hot moment, I was about to go to Australia, and me and Karen were going to hang out for like 3 weeks, and then like I lost my job, and now I need to find a new job. So now I don't get to go to
because that ticket is expensive now.
Yeah, it's costing me a fair bit to get to America.
It's not so much the ticket, like the ticket for me, like to go to Australia round trip. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
it's not crazy. And plus, I get to like stay at Karen's house, and me and Karen will travel around. That's not it's not super expensive.
Well, you better hurry up and get a job and get some money.
I know, but the problem is like my life, my like house payments and all that kind of stuff don't stop just because I go to Australia.
Sell the house and buy.
I have children who live in the house, girl. You know that. But like I think the cool thing is like the support of my channel really like allows me to have these trips with like with Karen and Cassie and all that kind of stuff. The people who support my channel, who do memberships on my channel, super chats on my channel, like that really, really helps me to do the things that I absolutely turn into content for you guys. And I want Karen's channel to grow and grow and grow so that she can be able to do those things. And hey, Betty's got a channel. Let's start supporting Betty's channel. Go subscribe.
Well, Betty, Betty, I actually noticed that about 3 people tonight in my chat have subscribed to you. So,
I'm subscribing once we're done. I'm subscribing.
yeah, Betty's
I will
ready.
subscribe to anybody who's going to bring some positive light to this world, guys.
I know. I try so hard.
That's the very least you guys can do. Just subscribe to these people's channels, follow them, watch some videos here and there. Like and that's all it takes. Thankfully, in this world that we live in of social media, like all it takes is supporting the people who are going to bring positivity. And anybody who's not going to bring positivity, don't connect with those people in terms of don't subscribe to those people. Don't watch any content that's going to feature like, what did this crazy person do? Don't watch that video.
There's some crazies.
Yeah, let's just support the positive. That's all I ask. If you're not going to support my positive, support other people's positive. Let's just stop supporting the negative.
Yeah.
Well, that's
that absolutely doesn't mean like let's go attack the negative. If you just stop supporting, especially if you ignore it. Then the negative will start fading and going away. Let's focus on supporting positive people as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I'm sure Betty had to deal with that person making up a fake account. And I mean, that's Betty. That's Betty before Betty was monetized. Like that was the Betty starting. Betty's like,
why even put that forth in effort?
Only thing.
Betty worked hard to get monetized, didn't you, Betty? And then you helped.
It's hard. It's hard to get monetized.
Yeah.
And see, like once I did, when they say your YouTube partner, it's like I think I was just running on adrenaline because once they say you're a partner, it's like I went, and then all I wanted to do was sleep. I didn't want to do anything. I was tired. I was tired. We really pushed that last couple of months, and I think when I reached over 1,000, I was like, I had already had my watch hours. So I knew to get my watch hours. Somebody taught me that early in the game. Because I always noticed people get their subs before they get their watch hours. And I didn't want to be that way. When I got my 1,000, I wanted to have my watch hours. And I had both. And then just could, go on and do it. So. Yeah,
and Betty's helped a lot of other people on the way too.
Yeah,
and it's just a really lovely, supportive community for Betty as well. Yeah. And I've learned there's I've forgotten the channel's name now. It's a husband and wife that cook. They do a cooking thing. I can't remember their names, but I watched them one night. It was from your channel. I saw them. They did this cooking show, and they made a meatloaf. And I'm watching them make this meatloaf. And I'm thinking,
Mama 4 Boys. There's 2 on there. Mama 4 Boys, M&T Cooking, something like that.
That one. Yeah, it wasn't Mama 4 Boys. Okay. Yeah. And it was fun watching. And you sort of think, I used to think, I wouldn't want to watch someone cook. But, oh, my God, it was just funny. It was just them in their kitchen, nothing flash, just them in their kitchen.
Yeah.
And just making, and I thought that really looks delicious. So I made sure I noted down what they put in it. I haven't made it yet, but
Maisie, we love you too. He says, I love you guys. You're my chosen family. And I think that's a big thing in my life. I know I have a chosen family.
Yeah.
And I love that. Antoine says supporting positivity is always a great thing, but toxic positivity, you got to watch out and stay away from. Absolutely.
And then when I see it, I yank it right out anyway. I don't call it out. I don't let it.
Yeah.
I don't let it lay. Somebody had put something about it was a joke, but it just wasn't a funny something about being too old to hump or something. And then I say,
never.
I'm gonna have to delete that one out. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get to that age.
Yes, junkyard gamer.
Men don't seem to get to that age, Jason. I think men just, it doesn't matter how old the man is.
I hope not.
Yeah, They get
Yeah.
comfortable with you, and they're doing it in other people's chats. So
Yeah.
then you just have to make
Yeah.
sure that you just don't bring it to your chat. That's
And
all.
and
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
I think that's one thing I want to like. If you love us, and maybe you don't like people we don't really support, because I know I have like a history with people like that you don't want to support, but you want to support me, but not them. Like,
Yeah.
because you support me does not mean to like throw negativity on somebody else. In
Exactly.
terms of like,
Mhm.
let's
Not-
spread
yeah.
positivity. And if you don't have some, like my mama
got
always
nothing.
says, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. I think
Right.
that was lost on the internet culture.
Mhm.
And I think we need to bring that back. I think that's a good rule
yeah.
of thumb that if
Yeah.
you don't have
And
anything nice to
honestly,
say,
how I
don't say
look
it at all.
at it, if I really say somebody on YouTube, say if I block them, I don't talk about it. I don't talk
No,
to
you
them
just do
anymore,
it.
and I don't talk and tell anybody. If anybody knows, that person told it themselves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I don't want you to feel
Yeah.
any differently about that person. You know what I mean? Me and that person, that's our problem. That's not yours. And believe me, if you're not a good person, other person gonna find out anyway. You know what I mean? So
Truth.
yeah, they're
Oh,
gonna find out.
absolutely.
Oh Lord, my husband wooed me with his meatloaf.
Yeah, I saw that.
He includes veggies, chicken flavored stuffing, and a special sauce in his meatloaf. Won me over and married him 32 years ago. That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
That sounds
yeah.
really good. I'm
We've
getting
been
hungry.
together, yeah, we've been together over 30 years, me and my husband. This is my second marriage. After I got married the first time, it was just a young marriage. And I said, you know what? I'm not getting married again until I'm darn sure.
Yeah.
And
I've
it was
seen
like,
your husband behind you a couple of times shoot into the side door
yeah,
there.
to
You're
the,
probably
to the
thinking, when are you
bedroom.
coming to bed?
To the bedroom. Nah. You know, I'll be up for a while. I still got to take my shower and stuff. And he hasn't taken the dog out yet. So,
No,
he takes the dog out. And
Well, I have to go check on my kids, so I will be
Yeah.
right back.
Okay, but
I'm
I
not
may not
leaving.
be.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I may
Well,
not be
if you
here
are not
for-
here, Betty, it was really, really nice
Thank
to meet you. You
so
are awesome.
much.
You're
I'm
beautiful.
so honored to have met you.
I'm subscribed,
Hey,
and I
what's your
hope I will
channel?
see
Oh,
you
you
on the
already
live.
subscribed? What was your
He
name?
will.
Oh, what's
I
your
will.
name? What's the name of your
My
channel?
name is Jason. My channel name is
It'll come up.
Cemetery Road.
Yeah, Jason, but it'll come up as the Cemetery Road.
Okay.
But I will be back in a few minutes. Betty, if you are not here when I get back, it was
Okay.
awesome meeting you. I love
It
you.
was awesome meeting you too. Take care of them babies. Ooh, I'm so
Yes,
glad.
ma'am.
I'm so
Well-
glad they grown. I'm so glad they grown. Oh God. Oh, praise God. What they say? Praise God.
Two. I have two. One of my boys and one of my bonus kids. They are growed up, like almost
Okay.
19 years old,
Oh,
moving out,
okay. They're
or
still
they
babies.
moved out. They have their own apartments
Move back.
and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then I have a almost 16-year-old and a
Oh, okay.
9-year-old. So I got time. I still
Oh,
got
yeah,
some
you
children
got
time.
You got. You got.
Two more boys to get out of this house. I'll tell you,
She
I
said
swear.
it's her second hubby as well. See, them second ones, if you're careful, they'll work.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You
I will
gotta
see you
be-
later, Betty.
Okay. Got to be real careful. Believe me.
Oh, I tell you what.
Yeah. What time is
Yeah.
it there? It's like 10:24 p.m. here.
It's lunchtime here. I'm
Oh.
starting to get hungry.
Now,
so
what
in
part of
case-
Australia you in?
I'm in Brisbane. So your son is
Oh,
in
you're in
Melbourne.
Brisbane. Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
Melbourne. That's far away from Brisbane, isn't it? How far? Hours?
Oh, it is about 23-hour drive, something
Oh
like
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're gonna meet up with Warmstrong. I'm really happy.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
so
well,
happy
he's
to meet
already-
everybody in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, this has been really good. Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad I don't
So
have a
you
lunch.
guys, I don't know if I copy and paste, what have I got? Yep. I'm just going to put the link to Betty's channel up again.
Thank you so much. And I
Okay,
go
bye.
on live again on Friday morning at 9 a.m.
You are?
in the
Okay.
time. Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
I'll try and
I'm glad it ain't tomorrow. What?
No,
I would have I would have to cancel. I would have to cancel.
I just love your hair, Betty.
Well,
I
thank
love your hair.
you.
It's so
Thank
pretty.
you.
It's so pretty. Yep. No, you always look all right. Even when I remember you were on with Bill one morning and you said, hang on, give me a minute.
I know. Oh,
Yeah, you weren't
yeah.
quite
Drinking my
ready.
favorite drink, Alive.
It's
It's
what's that? You might as well give it a plug, even though
it's a kombucha.
root beer. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
but
root beer.
it's a kombucha. You know, the tea for your tummy. Yeah, but you know what they're doing though with the commercial they're adding too much sugar in it now. They used to didn't, but now they're adding too much sugar.
So now it makes it,
Yeah, so now it isn't any good, to tell you the truth. Oh, somebody's in Scotland.
Yeah, Maisie Rose is in Scotland. I think.
Okay.
Maisie, where are you again? Are you near Edinburgh or Glasgow? I can't remember. You did tell me where you were. 3:25 a.m.
Oh boy. Okay, but I'm gonna say good night. I'm sure I'll see Jason again and you.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm glad you called me.
I'm so glad I did. I was going, she's live. Because I just got off of his thing and I was going to get off, but then I seen you, Ron. So
yeah. Oh, thank you for dropping by.
Yeah, it's been fun. Good night, everybody, and hope to see y'all again. Okay, Karen, see you later.
Night.
Okay, night.
Okay. Night. Bye. There she goes. Yeah, she's awesome, Betty. She just makes you laugh. When you watch her, you just sort of have a bit of fun watching her and whatnot. But thank you for everybody who's still here. And Maisie, I was doing something this morning again, deep diving onto the internet about the Edinburgh vaults on the bridge there. I think I'm going off the memory now. Something Mary Bridge, is it? I don't know, but the vaults that go under the bridge, the ones that people back in the day were built to store all the stuff. Oh, Betty will be happy about that. Thanks, Maisie. But where all the vaults were used to store things up, and
I've been in those vaults.
Have you been there? Oh my God,
Yeah.
That's one of my bucket lists. I so want to go to those vaults. I made a little short on it because again, I was deep diving into all the things. I thought, I really want to go there. Like I've seen the stories that they say, there's a little boy that haunts there, and there's a guy who used to do this that haunts there. And I'm like, you know what? Well, whatever. Once again, yes, I hear those stories and I'm listening, but but I would like to just go in there and just check them out because there's
it's super fun.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I did. I want to go back to Edinburgh very, very much. Very much. And thank you to everybody who hung out in this live stream. It's been a lot of fun. I was super happy to meet Betty and hang out.
Yeah, I really like Betty.
But I know Karen needs to eat some lunch, apparently.
She's good.
So I'm gonna let you all go.
Hours. Yeah,
good.
And
do not forget, we have on Weeping Willow Paranormal tomorrow night.
Correct.
Birthday celebration for Cassie. It's going to be super, super awesome. So make sure you're there. And then I have a new episode next week. It's already been planned. Next Wednesday, it's a 16-minute episode. As we start my travels up into Canada, the episodes that lead me up into Canada and back into America, the episodes are going to be kind of long because they were large cemeteries I went to. And then right after that, we're getting into episodes where you're going to see not only cemetery episodes and paranormal episodes, but also behind the scenes travel episodes between me, Doof, and Weeping Willow as we begin our epic trip. So a lot of content is coming your way, not only from my channel, but from Doof's and from Weeping Willow. So I'm super excited to have all that happen. Karen's stalled out, guys. Kipper, I'm not sure what time. I want to say like 9 p.m. Central. I'm not sure, but like if you check out Weeping Willow's live stream, if you go to her channel, check out the live stream. You'll see an upcoming, and then it'll tell you what time her channel it will be live tomorrow. But I want to say it's like 9:30, maybe. I'm not sure. Karen, where'd you go? I feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't know if I'm stalled out and the world is continuing around me, or if she's stalled out and I'm like talking to nobody. So if in the chat you can tell me what's going on, that would be great. Absolutely, Nightbot. Oh,
Can you hear me
Karen is. I have two Karens.
now, Jason?
Oh my god!
One of me.
There you go. There you
Oh
go.
no, the secret's out. I'm a twin. I don't know what happened then. I completely lost everything. Could be this new computer, but I think it's more the internet.
I
All
told
got up
everybody
to
about
was
Weeping
you
Willow
saying
stuff.
about your episode.
So
Yeah. And I've got before Cassie's live tomorrow for her birthday. I don't know what time it is there, but it's an hour before Cassie's live. I've got the episode with Come Hither with Heather on, which is a bit of a hoot. It's just a bit of a hoot. I had fun talking to her. So that's just one of my 5 haunting questions. But talk about everything again, from ghosts to aliens to whether or not we wear underwear.
I am absolutely tuning into that episode. And
I
you
thought
should
it was
too.
Yeah, tune in to find out. But
And
yeah,
me and
so
Karen
it
are going
was-
to be traveling around America so closely that we'll find out that answer in
oh
a few
well,
weeks.
maybe just for America, I'll think about it.
You'll think about wearing underwear? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I mean, wait, what?
What? Hey, what?
Hmm?
Oh, geez. Oh yeah. Sorry, guys, that whatever happened to my chat happened. I don't know what's going on. I have a new computer because I've been making so many. I've got my laptop, good old faithful laptop, works fine. But I was trying to watch YouTube videos because I multitask. Watch some YouTube videos, and make some content for the channel, and make my ball heads, and it just kept crashing. And then I looked at my, you know, how you can see how much memory, there's nothing there. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So there was one on sale, and I grabbed it. But it's still giving me a bit of curry at the moment. I think it's the internet. I think the internet might be playing up. But there you go. But this has been fun.
Been great. It's been great the whole live stream. So I think you're pretty good.
Yeah, so this has been fun, and thank you for everyone who's stuck with us. And I do know that Joe had a what do you call it? An unboxing to do, so that's probably why they all left to go over to him. I didn't expect to go this long. But anyway, guys,
Team rewatch.
Yeah, I'll call it quits, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow for my little episode, and then hopefully see you in with Cassie for her birthday. I think she turns 21 tomorrow. I'm not sure, and Jason will be there as per usual. So
I'll be dressed up too.
Oh, what are you going? Oh, you're going to dress up? Okay,
I have to. It's for a birthday party.
It's a birthday party. I might even get a birthday hat and wear a birthday hat and one of those blue blows. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.